Oh, swipe, swipe, swipe.
That sounds like swipe with Fox. Swiper.
Swipe, swipe, swipe. Stay with my shotter, I stay with my chopper. My chopper go block on my chopper, no stopper. Said that before, but I'm still kicking doors and I'm still smoking dope and I'm still fucking hoes. I want the loot, watch me you grab that. Said he want smoke, watch me match that. I'm dropping these bombs like it's back there. Man, fuck y'all hating ass niggas. I swear to God, man. Shut the fuck up.
You motherfuckers ain't know, man. You motherfuckers ain't even know, man. Y'all some hating motherfuckers. Fuck all y'all niggas, man. Hey, let me tell you something. First, you the bitch that wanna get the motherfucking uppercut, left, right, straight to your jaw. Huh, bitch, you about to fall. This ain't no motherfucking game, let me explain it to y'all. Here, sit on my motherfucking knee, dear. I'm about to drink a beer and beat your ass with a bottle. So I'ma walk down the street like a model. I got a Molotov cocktail straight to your house. I'm about to burn it down. Shit.
This is DJ Blake, and my next guest grew up listening to gospel music in Georgia. Once moving to Seattle, he was introduced to a different genre. Hip-hop welcomed him with open arms and showed him that through his lyrics, he could become whatever he wanted to be. He is only 16 years old and is already putting out music to showcase to an audience. Introducing King Swiper.
DJ Blake, back with another one.
Welcome back, everyone. This is DJ Blake, keeping you up to date with all the hottest hip-hop news and sneaker talk. And today, I'm with a very special guest today, the one and only
King Swiper. Swipe, swipe, swipe. You did.
King Swiper. So I'm guessing that has to do with Dora?
Honestly, my main purpose and goal is to have a show and then a Latina little bad bitch just come out of nowhere and say her name is Dora. Like, honestly,
funny.
Like, just have like a little groupie named Dora.
Oh man, have you ever dressed up as Swiper for Halloween?
Honestly, I have not.
I've never seen that either.
I've never seen somebody dressed as Swiper.
That's so
and
funny.
honestly, I think I'm gonna be the first person.
Yes.
That's on the itinerary for next year.
That sounds good. So why'd you choose Swiper though?
I mean, I'm good at snatching stuff. Like I was like, I mean, when I was little, I always used to like steal stuff like money out of like my mom's purse. I was always like in the streets, stealing from like little like corner stores and stuff. And then when I got older, I started going like to bigger stores, bigger opportunities. Started stealing jewelry, bottles, all of it, you name it, and I was grabbing it.
Oh man, well when you make money you won't have to do that, right?
Exactly, that's the plan. I'm done with all that swipe stuff now. I'm trying to get bands off the music, you feel me?
Right. So I heard you're 16 years old, right?
Yes.
That's crazy. It's good that you're already starting music and you've put out music too, right?
Yeah. It's I'm like mainly on SoundCloud right now, but I'm about to have all my music on all platforms.
Right, you got to start somewhere. And I actually like SoundCloud because I use my SoundCloud RSS feed, which is like the feed that you get from SoundCloud, and that automatically sends to Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. So
Yep.
my main platform actually is SoundCloud because it just sends everywhere else. But yeah, so do you work right now, or is stealing your job?
I mean, I've been looking for jobs, but I mean, I've mainly been working like this candle store.
Candle store? Okay, tell me about this candle store. What?
It's like it was my old homie's mom's store. She makes candles.
Okay.
Shout out Malicious Women Candles.
Oh, nice, very nice.
They're honestly the best smelling candles I've ever smelled in my life. Like she's got a talent. She's got a gift.
And he actually brought one for me today. Also, it smells really good. It's a vanilla smell. I'm playing with you. There's no candle here. So, are you in school right now then?
I'm not in school currently because of a whole bunch of drama that happened. But I've been trying to get back into school because education is important, and
right.
I'm trying to get a degree. and I'm trying to push on, you know, so I'm not like a stupid rapper,
Right.
like one of those dudes that just dropped out of school and then just said, look, I don't got nothing else to do. So, but music is definitely my passion, but it's always definitely something like nice to have something to fall back on.
Exactly. What is the importance of education for you, though?
Education for me, honestly, I feel like just knowing, like, because in this world that we live in, it's all about what you know. It's all about what you know and what you have. Right. And intellect is something that I'm very keen on. Like, I never want to look stupid or make anybody else look stupid. So basically, it's just being in the know. Honestly, school is just a whole bunch of bullshit to me. I really don't believe in any of the shit that they be saying, none of that. But it's still important to have, you know, that piece of paper that says you did it. So, and you know, have like education and like intellect about like the real world,
right,
and what they want you to know.
That's true. And then you can spit some more knowledgeable bars.
Exactly. Like, it's not even like, I just love vocabulary. I love words. Like, when I was younger, I wanted to read the whole dictionary, but I got ADHD, so I was not focused on it. I was like, I got like past like the A's, and I was like, nah, never mind. So I was just like back and forth, this letter. So vocabulary is something that I really do love and appreciate, because words do matter, and like they hold high importance.
For a punishment when I was younger, I had to read the entire dictionary, and from A to Z, I had to read the definition and write the definition in my own words, the whole entire dictionary. And that took like a whole summer.
The whole dictionary?
Yeah.
Nah. At that point, I was just finna run away. I'm finna run away from the crib. Nah, I'm definitely not writing the whole dictionary. You got me messed up. That's gonna take a few months for me.
It did. So, how did you get started in music? That's, like I said, it's important to start young and to actually put out something tangible when you're young. That's crazy.
That is, honestly, it's been crazy for me, because I didn't even think that I was really gonna be doing too much with all of this music stuff. But I got started because I like moved up to Washington from Georgia, because I'm originally from Georgia.
Wow. I love Georgia, actually.
I moved up here, and I moved in with my dad, and like I was saying earlier, he introduced me to all like this new rap stuff, and I was like, wow, this is filthy. I want to get into this more. And then someone that I think of as like family, Young Jay, shout out to him. He's definitely the one that got me started. I saw him and like how he was doing his music, and how it was just like such a beautiful experience. And then he got me started. He was like, Lance, I want you to do this. I want you to like write something, because low key, because I already had like I was saying, vocabulary is important. Right. I already had like the words, and like I was like yeah. He was like, bro, you got to put it on a beat. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. He said it sounded pretty good, and the next thing I know, I was hopping in the stew.
Hey, but how did you not know about rap in Georgia? Like, Southern rap is huge compared to Washington rap.
That's true. That's true. That's so true. Like, and especially since my mom, she was so keen on it like beforehand, but she's such a like godly Christian woman that like she didn't let me listen to any of it. Of course, I knew who these people were, like off of like the news and stuff like that, but I'd never heard any of their music, nothing. Like, I'm gonna be honest, Tupac and Biggie, if you told me, if you said that like when I was like 11, I'd look at you and be like, to who and who, why is he so big? Like, I would have, but I mean, as it went on, I just started cramming that stuff, like, because music became so important to me.
Right.
That like after that, I was just going and going and going. I was like, I couldn't get enough of music. Right. And then I took like the music that I listened to, and then I put it in my music, and I was like, bruh, this is good. I like this. I like this. So honestly, that's why it's such a passion to me.
Yeah, you know, if your mom isn't really big into hip hop, you can show her Kanye's new album, the gospel album.
I looked at my mom's Facebook, and she had like a whole thing on Kanye. She was like, you know, I don't really like Kanye like that, but his new album, it's about Jesus, so you know I'm gonna have to get on it. I was like, oh my God.
So what is the writing process for you?
The writing process, honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I freestyle like most of my stuff, but I've been getting into writing so like more recently because now that I'm getting bigger with it and I'm not just fucking around and I'm not just playing around, I realize that like people are like more focused on bars, and I'm like, I got bars, but the more I write, I realize that it's just better. So
Increases your vocabulary.
It increases my vocabulary. And freestyling, when you freestyle like every song or you freestyle all the time, you just end up becoming repetitive and saying the same stuff. So when I write, I open up new doors for myself.
Right. That's true. So how many songs do you have out right now?
Currently, I think I got about 11 out. 11. I had like 15, but I took some of them off because I was like, I'm just dropping too much stuff.
Right. How do you decide when to post, and what is the process in doing it? Like, do you have a producer or anything like that, or do you find type beats or?
The biggest producer that I'm messing with right now is Camber Rose.
Oh yeah, so you're from Everett, aren't you?
Yeah, Camber. Actually, that was the dude that recorded my first song in 8th grade. It was when I wanted to like first get into music. I'd like gotten like this whole thing. I was so hyped, and then I got baptized, and my dad was like, "No, you got to change your message." So he made me become a Christian rapper.
Wait. When did you get baptized?
I got baptized in like 8th grade. and then he was like, the day after I was supposed to hit the stew and I was finna talk about fucking bitches and getting money. He was like, nah, that's not the way. so he was like, nah, you gotta make a Jesus song. So I hop in there, and this is like way before Camber, even before it became Camber. He was still just Raph. So I was like, Raph, bruh, I got a freestyle, bruh. My dad's making me change up the whole message, the whole game, bruh. So I was like, just throw on the beat. And thank God, that man saved my ass. Like, that song would have been so booty if he hadn't, like, come together and mixed it right.
Yeah.
Like, that was like the first song that I'd ever recorded, and it was the first song I ever freestyled on. But I ended up recording a music video for it on Halloween of that year. And it got like 2K plays now, so I mean I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah,
that's a OG banger.
Right.
And back then I used to go by Kid Fire, so and the process of the name changes was just too much. I went from Kid Fire to Young Poppy to King Swiper.
But from having that experience of like talking about money and hooking up with girls in like 8th grade, how do you think that affects the genre of hip hop as a whole? Like, don't you feel that pushes the stigma of?
That definitely pushes the stigma, but I mean, at that time, I was just too young. I just was focused on making something that my homies could listen to and bump.
Right.
Like, cause honestly, where I'm at, like right now, I realize to be the wave, you had to like sort of hop on it first. Like you gotta kind of be mainstream so people like pay attention, and that's when you break out and you start your own stuff. Like, cause that's how I started. I wanted to like be like a little bit mainstream so more people would like fuck with my music or like more listen to it and pay attention to it, cause you know it's like something that everybody's listening to. And then I was gonna break out my own flow, my own style.
What is the mainstream sound in your opinion?
The mainstream sound, in my opinion, it's basically, like I said before, fucking bitches, getting money, doing drugs. Now it's more about hood shit, robbing people, killing people.
I feel like those are just synonyms for what you were just saying earlier, though.
Oh, probably. That's why it's so mainstream, because it's all the same thing. Like, it's just different. It's different stuff, but it all comes into just one group.
What is the importance of being unique to you, though?
The importance of being unique to me is basically so I can touch more people, like more people's hearts, because everybody's different. Everybody's got a different mindset. Everybody's got like a different heart and what they're feeling. So that's why I'm trying to be like more versatile and not just like come with like hardcore bangers. I'm also like trying to like throw in maybe some R&B, maybe like a little like touch of like soul, and like some like the new song that I'm dropping on the 25th, Body. That's a song that I did with another local artist, Genesis, and that song's all about love. It's
Right.
like it's totally different from the other stuff that I drop, like where I'm talking about like cars, money, clothes. I'm just trying to do the best that I can to touch people.
Right. I actually like that you said your perspective of having to hop on a mainstream wave first, but I feel like nowadays people like music that they can relate to, you know?
Oh, most
So
definitely.
I think it's important. You're already saying you're able to like make yourself different now, but I think it's important for up and coming artists to realize that you don't have to follow a wave or sound like Little Mosey, because Little Mosey made it, but he's not helping you guys out.
Oh, most definitely.
So you have to find something that you're passionate about. If it is music, you have to find a way to make it unique, because Ski Mask, you know, XXX, all those guys made it on their own wave, but then people see that as the mainstream thing because they blew up, but they didn't have anything when they blew up. They're just acted as their own selves, you know. So I think it's important for Seattle artists to realize that they can, if it's a good song, they can rap about doing the dishes and being grounded.
Oh, true. You can rap about anything. It's not even, that's why I feel like people should like burst out of their shell. Like what I was talking about before, like the mainstream stuff, that was like a before thought, and that's why I've popped out more recently.
Right.
And that I'm trying to be my own person and do my own thing, because honestly that mainstream stuff is not the go. It really isn't. Like being your own person and doing your own thing and staying on your own grind and your own hustle, that's the move. That's the wave now. Trying to be like everybody else and do what everybody else does is not the go.
Right. So you started your music in Everett, right?
Yes.
So how is Everett different from Kent or Seattle or Tacoma music, in your opinion?
Honestly, Everett, it's not that much different, to be honest. But there is like different people, and honestly, it's because of the people that come from different places. Because honestly, in Everett, I've seen a lot of people that aren't even from Everett. They come from the South, or they come from different parts of the freaking region or some shit. But honestly, I feel like it's the impact that others make on those people that make them sound different.
Right.
Those, like the people in like Tacoma, Kent, like Seattle and stuff like that, they're just pretty much like their own people, stay in their own groups in their own lane.
But I see that a lot in Everett also, because my goal is to work with all these different cliques and then bring them together by throwing events and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've noticed, like the really hardworking people in Everett when it comes to music, they have they're blowing up in Everett, but they have no idea how Seattle, Kent, Tacoma, any of those places really work, which is really interesting to me. Do you find yourself more in like a group / like clique type thing in Everett?
In a sense, you could say, because honestly, like I said, I'm from Georgia. I'm not even from Everett.
Right.
I don't really like talk to the people in Everett anymore, because I'm usually so many different places at like the same time, like Lake Stevens, Marysville, I'm Granite, Stanwood, all of those different places. Like, so in Everett, I haven't like stayed in Everett since maybe like 8th grade.
Right.
Consistently. So those Everett heads, I can't really speak too much like on them, but I understand.
Right. So growing up in Georgia, does that affect your sound at all, really? Or because you started more up north, is your sound have nothing to do with Georgia?
Honestly, my sound, I feel like it doesn't really come from anywhere. It just comes from the heart, because like I said, like nobody really helped me with this. Like my dad never really like said, "Oh, well, let me freestyle with you. Let me help you work on some music." I didn't have other local artists saying, "Oh, well, here's this. Listen to this," because I didn't know anybody. Like just coming by myself from Georgia, not knowing a single person other than my father. Like I didn't even know him. I was like, I met him for the first time, and I was like, and and he didn't really help me on anything. So honestly, this music stuff, it just happened because I just started writing something down on a piece of paper and put it together with the beat. So I don't think my sound comes from the South. I don't think it comes up from up north. I think it just comes from me. I just kind of write and spit whatever comes to my mind.
But you got inspiration from starting music from your dad, you'd say, kind of then? Because he introduced you to hip-hop?
Kind of. I'd say that he's kind of an inspiration. Like, he definitely introduced me to it, but that was just, like, the stuff that he liked to listen to. So when I broke off in, like, my own branch and I started listening to different artists that I thought was pretty cool and pretty filthy, I think that's where I really got my inspiration.
Okay. Do you listen to more of the newer sound of music, or do you listen to old school music, like you said, Tupac, Biggie?
Now I'm more of like a more like recent rapper, like what's in like right now, like definitely like not like too mainstream, but pretty mainstream rappers. I've started going back to the roots as to, you know, build myself and really like connect to what was popping back then, because history always ends up repeating itself. This isn't gonna be like shout out to Justice, because we were just having this freaking conversation earlier. He was saying, bro, it always reverts back. This isn't gonna be popping forever, and I see that this is popping right now, so I'm kind of in touch with it, but I definitely want to go back to the roots, because that's where all the real music was. That's when people were really putting their heart and soul into this. Now niggas are just doing it for fun and then just blowing up and making money off of it. But back then, they was actually trying to do something with their life, and they was actually doing, like, passionate about their music.
I think the sound is forever changed, though, because I do listen to other podcasts to inspirations of questions to ask and see how they talk to their guests, you know? Mm-hmm. And I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he had the RZA on, which he's part of Wu-Tang. And he was saying when they were coming up, like in the 80s, 90s, sampling was really important because they didn't have the electronic sound that we have now. Yeah. And now that the electronic sound is here and we have keyboards and all that, record tables, all that stuff, like the new type of record tape, not the old scratching.
Oh, yeah.
People don't really have to sample music. So I think it's interesting how music's going to continue to evolve over the years, but I think people have to kind of stop saying music's going to go in a circle. I think as we grow as people, it'll become more unique, but I don't think we're going to ever go back to the 90s, 80s type sound, which in my opinion is a disappointment for me because I like that. That's my favorite era of music. But I think it is important for new music to be accepted. So you said your dad like taught you, like showed you music, and so that was more old school, right? But is it
kind of
okay?
Because he himself, he's into a lot of like the new rappers. So what he was showing me was like Kevin Gates. He was into Kevin Gates. I forget all the rappers that he was showing me because honestly I wasn't really paying attention. Because I'm gonna be honest, when he was first showing me this, I wasn't really into it.
Right.
I was still a good little church boy. I thought that I was sinning just by listening to the music. I was like, what are these words? My mom has never said this to me before. I was like, my mom has never said these words to me. What is this? But as it went on, I was like, yeah, I like this. But he was throwing me like Trippy, Kevin.
Right.
He's obsessed with Pump.
Right.
I was like, I don't understand that. But he uses like a lot of those new rappers. But as he was showing me that, I was like, okay, there's this new rap, but I'm hearing about like a lot about like this old stuff. So I started going back in time just like a little bit, and I started listening to like Waka Flocka. I started listening to Waka Flocka. I started listening to 2 Chainz. I started listening to Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes, oh my gosh, he's literally my favorite.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes, Twista. He was literally, those two have got to be like my all-time favorites.
Yeah, they've been around forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
But Busta is definitely gonna be the GOAT.
Right. So what music did you listen to growing up that wasn't hip hop then?
Gospel.
Gospel. Okay.
Gospel. Just straight gospel. And you think it'd be every Sunday? Nah. Every day. Every day. Just as soon as I wake up in the morning, my mom would get us ready for school, and all that we be playing over the speakers is just gospel. And then we'd pray. I'd go to school. I'd come back. We'd pray again and listen to some more gospel. I didn't even get my first phone until I turned like 13.
Wow.
And then after that, I was like, I was opened up to a whole new world. I felt like Princess Jasmine or something. I was like, what is this?
Well, do you find hip hop to be a welcoming genre versus gospel, or?
Most definitely, because with gospel, you kind of got to stick to one message. With hip hop, it's exactly in its name. You can hip hop from this topic to that topic. You can literally be any type of person that you want to be. You can say whatever you want to say. You can have a filter, no filter. You can just be you. And gospel, it's just sticking to Christ. I mean, you can do it in your own way,
Yeah.
but it's just sticking to one subject. And me personally, I don't like sticking to one subject.
Yeah, that's a good perspective. Yeah, I like that. Wow. Okay, so what are your goals within the next few years with your sound?
My goals are just for my sound to keep changing, keep getting better, keep getting bigger. Honestly, I don't really have a plan for my sound. I just know that I got a purpose, I got a talent, and I'm just trying to fulfill it.
What do you want to use your platform for as you grow?
Honestly, I don't even know. Like, I just make music just to make people happy. I don't even do it for myself. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for anything. I just want to just touch people and just make them happy, and or sad, or just bring emotion, cuz I see how music touched me, and I see how it touches other people, and I want to give people that feeling too. Like,
Right.
it's like not even like a feeling of wanting to be important or anything like that. I just want my music to just reach people, reach everybody.
Right. That's awesome. What is the support like in Everett? Because I really want to understand the Everett sound, because I am from Seattle. So I want to understand why they're not really connecting like they should.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the support level in Everett is so ass.
Like when I think of Everett, I think of all of up north. How about that?
All of that is just ass. Niggas are just trying to climb to the top and just beat every other nigga down with them. Like, it's just like it's either you're number one or just nothing. Like, and that's what I don't understand. Like, I feel like if we came together as more of a group and we tried to push each other to be better, all of us could do something big.
Right. What do you think? How do you think that should be changed, though? Like, what is the first step in changing that?
The first step is grouping. Just grouping. Just use, like, with my little homies, they're always like, oh, well, I want to go to the studio, but I don't have any resources. I mean, they got the talent, but they don't got any resources. And that was me. I didn't have any resources, anybody's support, anybody's help. So I had to dig and, like, find all those resources by myself. And I don't want any other person to be like that. So when they tell me that they got something that they wrote down or something that they want to put out or want to record, I'm like, hey, come to the studio with me.
Yes, it's important to spread the love.
Like, exactly. That's what it's about. You're supposed to spread love, and you're supposed to be kind to one another. I mean, I don't understand what's so difficult about that, and to why people have to, like, just feel in their mind and in their hearts that they have to be negative to people. But if people spread positivity, love, kindness to, like, everybody else, the world would be such a better place, and it would make so much shit easier,
Right.
for them and for everybody else.
That makes sense, for sure. Well, what is some advice that you have for some up-and-coming artists, influencers, creators?
Don't let anybody tell you you can't do shit, because you can do anything and everything. You whether it's you got like a little busty ass mic or you're recording shit on your phone, do it. I'm telling y'all, you got to do it. because if you just sit there and you always wonder what if or what could have been, nothing's gonna get done. You don't know the potential that you have unless you put that potential forward and you try to do something with it.
For sure. What are some final words you have for Seattle?
Seattle, I love you. You're a beautiful city. Some of the people are weird and they need to get their shit together. But honestly, I love every single one of y'all. I love every single person in the world. I love y'all hustle. I love the support that you do give, if you do give support. And I just love in general.
Yes. What is the easiest way to reach you?
You can reach me on Snapchat, lgrooms56, Instagram, king._swiper.
Tell people to spell swiper though, because you use a money sign.
It is very difficult, but the SoundCloud is KING $WIPER, 2 words.
Yes. Well, this is DJ Blake and
King Swiper.
there we go.
Slam.
There we go.
Slam.
DJ Blake.